Pilates in your home. Join us today with your own body, with a band or a towel. And for the next half hour, we will work our core. So let's start with your band, or if you don't have a band, your hands can be by your side. With the band, wrap it around the ball of your foot. No tension on the band. And with your shoulders, you're going to pull back. And then releasing it. Sit up nice and tall with your spine extended. Walking your feet out to achieve that. And on your next one, you're going to pull it back and hold it. Slowly turn your head to one side. Come back to center and release your arms. Pull it back and slowly turn to the other side. And center and come back. So continue moving. If you've got a cranky neck, you'll know it. Just do that one side with or without the band. Get your spine a little longer. And if you're focusing on the movement, can you now add your breath and breathe with it? If you're doing one side, on your next one, go back and do the other side. So finishing up, you're going to cross your bands, or without a band, arms are at your side. And you're going to pull back to the top part of your groin, and then go back to your side. Elbows are back, squeeze those shoulders, and then release it. So pulling back, really focusing on those shoulder blades squeezing together. Again, it can be done without the band, just using your resistance. Add your breath. Always breathing, always moving. Your breath controlling your speed. Begin to add one arm and twist it back. Alternating sides, determining whether you've got one side that needs more attention. And then adding your breath. Finishing up that last one. And releasing the band, putting it on your shins if you have it, and coming into butt balancing at its finest. Give yourselves a hug, and then begin to straighten that spine. Pull your shoulders back. Can you bring your shins parallel to the mat? Holding on or letting go. Breathe. Long spine, long deep breaths. Feeling your core. One more deep breath in and releasing it. Taking your band, putting it around your feet, or just doubling it and holding it. You're going to sit up tall, walk those feet out till you have a curve in your low back, and then scoop your belly and roll about halfway back, creating a C curve. Take a breath here, and then roll up and straighten. Continue to move through this range of motion. If you're smooth coming up, go down a little further, always controlling that coming up. Your own pace, your own time, your own range of motion, make it doable. So finishing your last one, rolling all the way down. Holding a towel or doubling your band. You're going to pull on the towel or the band without moving it and widen your shoulders into the mat. Using your breath to exhale with that exertion with the shoulder. Just feeling the shoulders widen and then release. Inhale and exhale. On your next engagement, exhale, your arms are going to go back overhead, your ribs staying down, and inhale on releasing it. Do this movement with your own breath, your own time, feeling the shoulders controlled and engaged. Feet can stay on the mat or come up into tabletop. Knees are overhead. Your core should be firing. Are you breathing? Add your breath and you'll take it to another level. If you're wanting more movement, adding that leg tap with the control of the arms. Are you breathing? So many options, feet down, legs not moving and up, or legs moving and up. Do this what works for you. Finishing up your last one, bring your legs in and give them a hug. Bringing your hands by your side, reaching your toes up, but with your knees soft. Bring your toes away from your chest as you create length in your belly. And then scoop your belly and create lightness with your glutes. Pause it there, and then release it. Move in and out, working with your own range of motion, but at all times be able to pause. Trying to keep tension out of your neck, your chin down, really working that lower belly. Breathing. Obliques, ever so slightly, bringing the hip to the shoulder. Finishing up that last one, bring your legs in and give yourselves a hug. And roll to the side, facing the camera, the video. So pull your shoulders back and your toes back just a little bit. And bringing your hand by your shoulder, you're going to come forward and rotate back, your rib cage being your mover. Feel the rib cage, controlling the movement, your shoulder is just falling. Can you add an oppositional pull to the hip as you twist away and feel it in your hip? Are you breathing? Hand can leave your shoulder and lengthen if that shoulder is healthy and not cranky. And then adding a wind and unwind, using the myofascia of those muscles, challenging with tempo, but at all times keeping it smooth. Still moving from the rib cage, oppositional pull on that hip. Finishing your last one. Bring your top arm down on the mat and hinge at the hip to bring those feet off the mat. Lift your top leg up and pull it from the hip, flexing that foot. And move that leg front and back. Leg movement with torso control. There should be no movement with your shoulder. Challenge the control with your range of motion. Give a pause forward and a pause back. Tightening your rib cage and your glutes. Legs staying in line with your hip. Smooth and controlled. Are you breathing? Finishing that last one. Bring that top leg in line with your hip and bring the other leg up to meet it. Lift both legs up and down. Work from the low back area, your waist not sinking into the mat. Focus on the length of those legs and not the height. Breathe. You should feel the muscle on the side of your back working. That's your QL. Stabilize with your hand in front. It's not about balance. So holding those legs up and swinging and scissoring front and back. Bringing both legs to the front of the mat again and lifting that top leg up and circling it back up and around. Making sure that you're creating an oval with that circle. Going back to engage those glutes and forward to challenge the hip. Breathing. Leg movement with pelvic control. Finishing your last one, bring that leg in and give it a hug. Rolling to your back, extending that leg that you just moved and reaching it up, your bottom leg down towards the mat. Using your forearms for support, climb your tree. Come up with your core, hold it, knee can be soft, and then scoop your belly and roll back. Using those hands by your side or not, walking up, but come up with your core, not pulling with your shoulders. Breathe with this. On your next one, hold it up. We don't do a lot. Take your left hand or your hand, opposite hand to that shin and twist around using your core. Let your arm float back and enjoy the stretch. Releasing across that ankle above the knee. Place your hands about 10 inches behind and push to straighten your spine. And then slide that leg in till you feel your hip. Hold it there and breathe. Give a little bit more curve to your low back and feel how you feel it in those glutes. Just a little bit more. Finishing that last one, bring the foot inside the shin. I'm going to change feet. And reach your arm up and leading with your chest, hinge and then fold. Take that arm and reach up and lift up and pull up, reaching from finger to heel. Breathe and move in and out. Hold it there and pull out of your hip, reaching through your heel. Your palm is facing down with that shoulder. Your ribs are knitted together. It should feel good. And releasing it and come over and stretch. Hinge and fold, opposite pull with that hip, grounding that hip on the ground. Breathe and relax here. And releasing it, coming back up, finding your teaser. Maybe taking your bands and putting them or your towel on top of your shin. Straightening your spine, bringing those shins parallel to the mat. Holding your band or your towel, engage your shoulders. And twist knee to knee. Twisting through the ribcage. Less is more, smaller is more inner. Breathe. Coming back to center, lowering down, keeping your knees over your hips. Bring your hands behind your head and lift your head an inch. Let your head fall into your hands and extend those legs. Lower those legs only as long as you can keep a stable core. Coming back and up. You determine how long those legs go. But make note of where your bottom range is. Are you breathing? No movement with your low back as you lower those legs. Finish your last one, and bend those knees. Knees are over your hip. Extend one leg as you twist with the rib cage in, and then release and return. The knee does not go beyond the hip line. The elbows stay out. The movement is from the ribs, the core. Less is more. Bring your legs in and give yourselves a hug. And roll to your other side. Pull your shoulders back and your feet back to create a longer line. Hand by your shoulder, move through the rib cage as you twist front to back. The ribs guiding the shoulder. Give an oppositional pull to that hip as you twist away. You can extend that arm if you wish, but still the rib cage guiding the arm. Breathe. And then adding that wind and unwind. Adding a tempo variation, engaging the fascia of the muscle. Finishing your last one, bring your top arm in front and hinge at the hip, bringing those feet off the mat. Lift that top leg and pull out of the hip, flexing that foot, swing that leg front and back. Leg movement from pelvic control. Do you feel a difference in one side versus the other? Breathe with this. As that leg goes back, knit those ribs together and engage those glutes. Challenge but control with your range of motion. But feel that you're working on your edge where you're challenged, but you can still maintain and do proper form. Finish your last one. And go into ovals, back to front. Feel your glutes engage as you go back, and your hip work as you come forward. Make it an oval. Breathe. Feel that your hip is working. Finishing your last one, bring that top leg in line with your hip, your under leg as well, and lift both legs up. Feel the length of those legs and lowering down. Lifting those legs up and down, focusing on length of those legs. Feeling the waist engaged on the mat. You're using your QL to do the work. Holding it up there and scissoring those legs front and back. Keeping it controlled, balanced front to back. And bringing both legs together and down. Bring that top leg in and give it a hug. And roll to your back. Hands are by your side. You're going to extend that working leg, and you're going to roll up using your forearms, climbing your tree. Spine is long. When you get there, soften your knee if you need, and then scoop your belly and roll back. Breathe. Permission to not use those arms by your sides as long as you're coming up using your core. Doing just one more. Don't do many. Taking your opposite arm to your shin, that leg is bent or straight, and turning and rotating from the core and letting that arm float back. Enjoy the stretch. Breathe. Crossing that ankle on top of the knee. Hands behind. You're going to slide that leg up as much as your hip will let it, and then push into that hip, and it should be a good stretch. A stretch that feels good, that feels like you're doing something. You determine this all by your range of motion. Our hips are all different. Can you give that low back a little bit more curve and feel the intensity that brings? Breathe with it. One more deep breath. And then releasing it. Straightening out those legs, take that foot to the inside of that leg. And lifting up, you're going to create length and hinge and fold. And then lift up and lift up. Engage that shoulder to support your body weight. Holding it there and pulling through your heel out of your hip, stretching. And then lifting up and reaching over and folding down. Breathe and focus opposite stretch on that hip. And releasing it. Taking your band or towel again. And finding your teaser, straightening that spine, holding on or not, band or not, maybe reaching up and twisting. Shoulders should frame your knee. The twist is your core. Holding it there, keeping those shins parallel and rolling back one vertebrae at a time. Dropping your bands, hands out to a T, go into windshield wipers. Using your core to pull those legs back. Going over and getting full range of motion. So permission to stay here and do more of these, but I am not going to from a time perspective. Reach arms and head overhead and stretch. And roll to laying face down for just one more minute. Hands are going to be by your side. Your toes are turned out. Third eye to the mat. Tighten your belly and lift up head, shoulders, and hands and stretch. Breathe and releasing it. Lifting up and down, using your breath to create your flow. Your range of motion should be in that shoulder blade. Permission to put hands under head, if you can maintain that. And then lifting up and twisting back. Finishing your last one. Hands in by your chest. Push up onto all fours and round your back and sit back on your heels. Pull your hands away from your hips and just feel the shoulders, elbows in. Breathe. And that will end our workout for today.